everyone, Mark Hackle, Macomb County Executive. Fortunately, I'm joined here by our, if you will, outdoor recreational enthusiast, Green Blue Economy initiative starter here in Macomb County. Guy that's been with our planning department for years, Jerry Santoro. And I got to tell you, this guy is, I'm just going to say, not only recognized around the county, the region, the state, but world-renowned.
Oh,
Jerry
gosh,
Santoro.
wow.
Jerry gets it. You talk about environmental.
Now you know he's exaggerating.
He knows what's going on. So, but fortunately, not only does he work for the county and try to figure out how do we create, better opportunities for people to enjoy, recreate, and clean up what we've got going in our county. Jerry's got incredible outreach at bringing people to the table that really know how to help out. And today we're doing what's called kind of a trash run in the Clinton River. They're going to be cleaning up tons of debris and things that in that river have been cleaned up over the years. And today they're doing that again with a lot of volunteers, Clinton Watershed Council, and even a private company, Clinton Canoe and Kayak, are out here doing some work. But Jerry, I got to believe you've seen a lot of transformation happening over the past maybe 10, 15 years here in Macomb County.
Absolutely. When I started here at the county in the early 2000s, there was so much trash in the river. And we're not talking just like pop bottles and stuff. We're talking like cars and appliances and woody debris across the river.
Barrels,
tires,
drums.
just in barrels of chemicals. And it was a dumping ground for 50 years. And it was considered the most polluted river in the state of Michigan at one point. And we brought out some canoe people from downriver that had been working on the Detroit River. And I had them evaluate our river, and they said this will never be a viable river because it's just too far gone. And with the cooperation of the Watershed Council, I am not talking about thousands of people, literally, have been participating in the cleanup of this river. And look at, now we have one of the best canoe liveries in areas in the entire state.
I know.
So,
and they're all coming out right now. Kids,
they're coming out now. These
aspect.
people are out for a good time today. There's thousands of trips down our river every single year now, and it's considered one of Southeast Michigan's greatest assets.
And what we're finding is there's trail paths now alongside the river. I mean, obviously adding to that beauty, people get to see it. People love being around water, let's face it. I mean, that's just a natural draw to begin with. But sitting here as we're talking and kind of having this conversation, you're seeing a bunch of people launching their kayaks right now from one of the launches that have been added to, this initiative that we put out there, trying to connect people, reconnect them. But again, it's amazing how many people really enjoy the outdoors. Even during this pandemic, we found that more people are reconnecting with the natural beauty.
Way more than usual, yeah, for sure. Some of the parks are seeing a 70% increase in usage. So, good thing we got this river cleaned up in time, and it's cleaning up the lake too.
And we're finding even public safety has realized, on the roads we know if there's an accident, an incident, there's a problem, or somebody's having troubles, they know how to identify the location. But sometimes that's not the case when you're actually on a river. You don't really know sometimes
hard to identify where you're at.
And so what the safety markers now that they have out here give an opportunity for people to realize you're in Sterling Heights, and there's a number associated with that color. If somebody does get in a situation where they need assistance from public safety, all they got to do is identify one of those markers, and they're laid out very strategically in and around the area, so that you just say, hey, I'm by blue 7 or whatever the number happens to be. The dispatcher at 911 call knows exactly where that's at because they have it mapped out themselves and can send police, fire, EMS to a location to give assistance. So even our public safety has weighed in on trying to be part of this.
They're all involved with the rapid water rescue now, and they've been trained on it. So it's been great. Started with Shelby Township. Now other communities have gotten involved all the way down the river. And then our overpasses, when you go underneath a bridge deck, it has the name of the road, and then it tells you how many miles to Lake St. Clair. So there's a connection that this river, everything that goes into this river goes into Lake St. Clair.
That's fantastic.
And so it's a great connection, and it also tells you where you're at by mileage.
Yeah.
So
I think they're waiting for some other folks here.
Yeah, they got a big crew out here today.
I see. Yeah, they're all coming down here.
All different ages too. That's what's great about it.
As we mentioned, we're fortunate. We do have business partners helping out. And again, Jerry, he's been around for quite some time and really understood the value of this river. And not only from a perspective of an economic opportunity for him to rent canoes and kayaks and give people that chance to kind of connect with nature on the Clinton River, but also a guy that truly has a passion for what goes on in making sure our environment is clean, in particular the waterways. So, I got to give you a lot of credit, the work that you've been doing and bringing people to the table to try to figure out, how do we get people to realize the value of this Clinton River here? We have gosh, I mean, it's almost 30 miles of river here in Macomb County. Our Main Street, we call it, this Clinton River. And you've done a great job, not only helping cleaning it up, but even getting rid of some of those woody debris. That was a monumental task, and you're one of those forceful leaders in making that happen.
Now, 14 years ago, they didn't think we could do it, did they?
Yeah.
But we did.
And you did. And again, most people don't realize that a lot of that was actually hard labor. I mean, you were using chainsaws and cutting up some of these massive woody debris piles actually in the river itself.
Years worth of work. You know, 2014 we started cleaning the river.
And what would you guesstimate as far as the number of those woody debris piles that had to be taken out? In particular, most of it was in that Utica, Shelby, some of the
Sterling Heights area. There were 23 above Van Dyke and 26 below Van Dyke to Heritage or to Hayes, where we're at right now. So over 40, and if you're to count the little ones, who knows? In 2017, when we started the cleanup, we removed 1,144 trees in 22 days. Of four different crews of us were in here pulling stuff out.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah, and people don't realize, and when they talk about that, the woody debris and blocking it off, you had to port your vessels. You actually had to get out of the water, the river, walk around it to get it back in, and sometimes it was quite a trek getting around because it was completely blocking off a pathway. You couldn't get through it. And so with that, some people may think it was, a few trees or a tree that's over there. No, we're talking about piles of trees that kind of got log jammed, if you will.
40 years, 50 years, I don't know how long it hasn't been open.
And now from start to finish in Macomb County.
Totally open.
I use Yates as kind of the example, as kind of where our start point is over there by DeQuinder. From there all the way out to Lake St. Clair, completely open. You can actually traverse the lake without having to get on your vessel.
One log jam right now, one tree that they got a portage around between Ryan and Van Dyke. Other than that, you are completely open all the way to the lake.
And that won't be long. That's going to be gone shortly here.
We can get that out of there. It's just a matter of time.
And today what they're doing is they're getting out here and they're going to clean the river. They're taking out trash. And again, the logs, they'll leave it to the professionals. These guys know what they're doing on that. But the support we're getting from the volunteers, there's going to be a lot of work trying to figure out how they just get the trash out. And God, I think it was 3,000 tons or whatever last year they pulled out of this river?
Yeah, over 3,000 tons. It's a weekly thing. Every time the water goes up, we had a cleanup 3 weeks ago. We have one every month with these guys. So 3 weeks ago we had a cleanup. Next day high water came, brought a lot of trash from Pontiac up Dyke Road all the way down into our area again. So it's a weekly thing. We pull trash out constantly. Yeah. It's just part of the urban setting.
And when we first started, there weren't too many launch sites where people could actually launch their vessels to get in. There wasn't anything. And so now, I mean, there's a multitude of locations where people can launch them. And your company, Clinton River Canoe and Kayak, does that. In other words, they can actually call your company by phone and or look at a website to figure out for their family, for friends, or some kind of a connection with a company or business, they can rent these canoes and kayaks and get out on the water and enjoy something that oftentimes we thought was only up in the northern part of the state. The Clinton, or I should say the Rifle River or the Sabo River, they pale in comparison to what we've got right here in our own backyard. So again, is there a website or a phone number people can call?
Phone number is the best thing, 248-421-3445. Everything's done by reservations. We always have run that way. So we always have a boat for everybody who shows up.
And they'll pick a location, you'll kind of suggest
You'll always
some,
meet us at our location on Utica Road. You'll be shuttled up for a 2 or 3 hour paddle, and you'll paddle back to your car at our parking lot.
So they take care of all that for you. So again, it's a one-stop shop. You go there, figure out how far, how long you want to go, and Jerry and his crew will make sure that you enjoy that opportunity. One of the organizations that's been very instrumental in making sure that our tributaries here in Macomb County and the watershed is clean is the Clinton River Watershed Council. It's probably the most populated watershed in all of Michigan. And I don't think people realize that it incorporates not just Macomb County, but St. Clair County, portion of that, a little bit of Lapeer County, a good portion of Oakland County, and believe it or not, even a small part of Wayne County. I think it's the Grosse Points are a part of this actual watershed, and pretty much all of Macomb County. But with that being said, Kathleen is here talking a little bit about what's going on today from the actual Watershed Council's perspective, but also some of the projects and programs they've got going on. So Kathleen, what's going on with the Watershed Council right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So today we've got volunteers out in the river. We're doing what's called a trash run. So we work with Clinton River Canoe and Kayak. They donate canoes and volunteers with us, and we also recruit volunteers. And we paddle down the river and we pick up trash along the way. And we've been doing this since 2017. There's a lot of great people involved, and it's a really great way to get people exposed to the beauty of the river and also being stewards of it as well.
And we've seen quite a transformation, with the watershed itself. It's not just about the Clinton River. I mean, there's so many different tributaries in and around those areas or communities I just got through mentioning. Whether it's a North Branch, there's so much that actually feeds into Lake St. Clair, which I say is the busiest freshwater lake than any other lake in the entire country during the summer months.
Yeah.
It is our, if you will, Great Lake here in Macomb County.
Exactly.
And we've got 31 miles of coastline. So everything and anything that kind of flows into that, needs to be cleared up, needs to be cleaned. And fortunately, we have those partners. And you have a 501c3 where actually the Clinton River Watershed Council does take donations to kind of help support the cause. Is that correct?
We do. We are a 501c3. We take donations. We also encourage the community to get involved in many different ways. We actually just started a new program called the Clinton River Quest. So it's a self-led scavenger hunt that you can register for. It's only $15. You're welcome to donate more if you'd like, and you get a guidebook, a map, and a t-shirt, and you're able to go out in the watershed, visit restoration sites, visit green infrastructure installations, go paddling, do a cleanup. So there's 32 different activities to choose from, and you only need to complete 10. And at that point, you're a certified river ranger, and it's just a great way to get involved and do it socially distanced. And it's an awesome new program, and we'd love to have people get involved.
And it's incredible seeing all the people, folks like yourself, that are so passionate about the environment and making it clean. This is going on 50 years now. The Watershed Council has been in place.
Yep.
And I think each and every year they get more and more, connected with what's going on, and people getting more connected with the Watershed Council. So is there something that's coming up for the 50-year anniversary? Is there something you guys are planning for that?
We are making plans for the 50th, and we are going to be celebrating in many different ways, so stay tuned. You can visit our website, and we'll certainly start like a 50th anniversary campaign relatively soon.
Well, it's interesting. Once again, here in Macomb County, we're fortunate to have that private sector weighing in on what's going on with the environment. We've got the public sector, which is the county, and as I got through mentioning Jerry Santoro, he is an incredible asset because he knows how to bring people to the table. But we also have the nonprofit organizations that are very engaged and very supportive of what happens here in the county. So if you get a chance, you got to enjoy the great outdoors. We know this concern about the COVID and everything going on, but I think it's giving people a chance to get outside their home, reconnect with nature, and that's really what Macomb County has a lot to offer. So go to MakeMacombYourHome.com if you're looking to find out what's going in and around the area. The Watershed Council has tremendous, if you will, advice for people to kind of get engaged, and check out some of those liveries that are giving people the opportunity to adventure on the Clinton River. And once again, thanks for joining us, and remember, keep yourself and your family safe.